I'm so excited for it to just get out of my headspace or the monkey off my back or whatever. Um, because it's honestly been, it was fraught with a bit of, um, well, just, well, I mean, delays from the start where it was like, oh crap, I think we have this record done. And I was like, this album isn't good enough. So we kind of started over again. That's never fun. That's never good. You know, I wanted to have a quick record out, but that never works out. You know, when you think, I was like, oh, I'll make this a quick project. That's the dumbest thing you can possibly do. So I'm just so excited that it's finally, these stories also that are weighing heavily on my shoulders are finally going to be hopefully pushed out into the ether, and other people can find their experiences within them.
Well, you say that being pushed out into the ether, and I know this is a huge reason why any musician or songwriter writes music is to see how people will connect and kind of make their own. And with Crutch going number one, and like this album isn't all rainbows and sunshine, you talk about a lot of personal, vulnerable moments. So then, what's it like for you? And it's you've been doing this for years, though, to see that connection, how they will take your song, make it their own, and sometimes it can be a healing process for them. I honestly cannot imagine what that's like for you.
Oh God. I mean, yeah, it'll be a miracle if I don't cry on the Zoom today. Uh, it's tough. It's tough to be so revealing and to show such vulnerability. But I think it's important at the same time, um, to tell the story truthfully. Um, and maybe in some way there's a healing process for me within that frame. Um, but it's still tough. Like, yeah, I do think if the album will just get off my damn back, much less having to relearn them, live, that'll be something too, I'm sure. But that'll be a bit more celebratory. Right now, it's just like these ghosts that kind of linger, you know.
Y'all! Y'all! Chill!
But I do understand you did take a bigger role in the production part of this. I think producing, co-producing every song, and I specifically want to talk about Ice Nights We're Having.
Oh
Like you
yeah.
start off with that melody, and then obviously continues on, and then in the end you kind of have those calls, almost those screams, and you're like, "Y'all chill, everyone." Can you kind of take me through the creative and like the mindset of including that?
Sure, sure. So it began, we were in Iceland, and it's such a stupid pun. I can't believe I used that title for the song, Ice Night We're Having. But I was in Iceland, and we'd been like out sightseeing all day and stuff. Didn't have a show that night. Um, and I had the window cracked in the hotel room, and it was like the wind was whistling through it. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like the cool, it was like, you're good.
Yeah.
Um, you're a good girl though. Good looking up. So I was like in bed, like ready to go to sleep, and I'm like, shit, that's the coolest sound. I need to like write a tune around this. So I like, dang it, get out of bed, unpack a guitar, and write a song around it. That became that's really the core of that song. Like down down, like I'm trying to figure out what key to write it in, like which capo to put on the neck of the guitar or whatever. Like how the hell do you write around this weird whistle? But I recorded that whistle on my phone, and then going through the song. So then I was living in like I call them Airbnbs because I was gonna be right back to a lot of them. Like I would go instead of Airbnb. Yeah, it's a stupid joke too. Dang, I gotta work on my material, but I end up staying at these like weird um like beach rentals and stuff like that in the off season where they're cheap, you know. Um, and I'm talking a little bit about that and like being a shut in sometimes and like not talking to the neighbors and um, then we were recording like the first half of the record in Stinson Beach, California, and there was like a breakout of like coyote attacks and stuff. Like the coyotes had gone crazy up there. they're like biting cars and stuff. It's like, why are you gonna bite a car? You think you're gonna beat a car? But it was funny because then like that week after reading that story in their local paper, I was trying to demo something, and these coyotes are just going absolutely insane outside my door in this little shack I was staying at. And I just went out there and yelled at them, told them to shut the hell up. And I couldn't believe they actually did it. So I was recording on my phone because I thought because their noise was so cool, much like that window was. I'm like, I've got to record these fuckers at least, sorry, for a second, like record these guys and ladies. And as I did that, I was like, well, shut up. Like, and I can't believe they stopped. And I went back in and started recording again. It was awesome.
I will tell you, in the 15 years I've been a music journalist, this is my favorite story of my song.
I know we could do a whole damn interview just about that, all the turbulence in that song. It's just funny how that window whistling in Iceland, and then half a world away, basically in California, how you can hear the whistle and the coyotes sync up at the trailing off of that track. They become friends in a way. It's really like simpatico. I don't know if you can see, like, we listen to records a lot, and so do my kids. We listen to a lot of records. I started their day off today with Abbey Road by the Beatles, which I used to play for my big kids. Used to be little, and before school we would always listen to records. So I'm trying to like trigger their old memories by playing some of the records we listened to when 10 years ago.
I love it. I'm going to skip to a question I was going to say for the end, because one of my favorite things is Amoeba Records, like What's in Your Bag. I love that.
Yeah.
Cover. And you did that like in 2016. And I remember you taking out Ron Wood's album first. And then you were saying how you were really into Otis Redding's I'm Coming Home at the time. There's a song right now that, you've been listening to maybe on repeat, or an album. Maybe it's the one you just told me.
God, because I did it again this morning once I got into the car with the kids to take them to school. I don't want to be a broken record, as it were, but of course it's still up on my damn phone. It's a band called Bachelor, and they came out with a record called Doom and Son last year, and it's that first song off the record called Back of My Hand, and I play that for the kids, and everyone shuts up. We all, like, for the first moments in like 24 hours, none of us is talking, and those moments are so special to me, like when everyone's paying attention and I look in the rear view and everyone's looking out different windows, and thinking about their story during a song. That to me is what's really special about music, and something that I did as a kid as well, and I continue to.
I absolutely love that. And as soon as you say that, it makes me think of driving around with my dad. He'd play Roy Orbison, and
oh my God,
mostly because he'd make us, because he just wanted to hear his voice and his vocal.
Oh, you are a lucky lady to have that kind of sound in your ears as a child. To hear, I mean, it's really hard to rate like the best vocalists of all time. But if he's not in the conversation, I'm not in that chat.
No, this whole conversation, I just felt like I need you to be my best friend. You make me laugh, and we're on the exact same page with Roy. I'm almost at 15 minutes, but I know anybody that's met you or spoke to you, you're very humble, you're very kind, you're gracious with your time. So I need you to self-indulge for one moment.
Sure.
It's just, I don't think any of us will ever know when a song will be number one or why it will connect with anyone. But when you were in the studio, was there a moment just for you after you laid a riff or a vocal or something that you're like, this is an amazing feeling. I feel great about what just happened. And I hope it was every song, but sometimes there is a little moment that happens.
No.
Oh.
No. For me, it always feels happenstance. It always feels like, it's like the break in a pool game or something. You don't know if the balls are going to go if you're going to get one ball in a hole or anything. I never know. I guess I'm not very good at pool either, but I mean, there was an element of more confidence in this record. Like just asserting, you know, six records in, where I'm like, shit, if I don't know by now what we're supposed to be doing, then I'm not ever going to know. Or if I can't guide us at this point, then, well, what's the damn point? So there was a bit more confidence to assert myself, but never have I ever felt like I know what I'm doing. And I think that's kind of part of the beauty of it. It's a bit of a mess always with this band.
And the mystery, and hopefully the joy of still making music and hearing that creative process of hearing that whistle to the coyote and that, because like that blew my mind. And I'm done now, but I want to know, this is just so selfish for me. Do you know any dad jokes?
Oh my God, dude, I have a million jokes in general. Like, but most of them are so like improper. Like I would get in trouble. Off the top of my head, I mean, shit. Oh, well, how do you make a Kleenex dance?
I know the answer, but you can tell me.
You know it. You put a little boogie in it.